Welcome, everyone. This is Pilot Needles, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at latest with LOTRO and hear LOTRO players. And this week, I'm joined by Krister
Hello.
and Cinders.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. And once again, we have more release notes relating to the
Oh,
beta.
I just had a sudden pain.
You heard the word release notes.
You did stock up on coffee tonight, right?
Yes. Yeah, in fact, I need to grab it. I will.
Okay.
Let me get the coffee.
Anyway, the first thing that they added the fourth of the zone so that now they have all four landscapes in the game now. So the new zone that they added this week was Idigal. Idigal, the dry whelm, is a scorched and dangerous land full of wild drakes, poisonous reptiles, and roving bandits. Despite the danger, there is rich history and pockets of beauty to be discovered among the scattered bones. The remnants of the kingdoms that prospered here before the din of stone. The bastion of these ancient kingdoms still stands tall and cliffs over the Idigal today. Imaxdul, an imposing and resplendent fortress from the time of the Neshikari dynasties. In the High Keep, the Ordokai rule and subjugate the other people of Murkala. Mizadi Shara Ingari and the forces of Hamat Renewed have arrived to challenge the Ordokai, now led by their new prince, Gormul Sai. Here, she will rally all those who suffer under their cruelty and lead a rebellion that will free Murkala from the grip of Orak once and for all. Report to Shara Mizadi at the Hamati forward camp on the border of Ansharu to begin your Idigal questing. And so that's the last of the four zones in there. And I heard that next week they will have the test. They're hoping to have the testing for one of the instances this week, but it looks like it'll be next week when they'll start doing testing on the instances. As for the regular release notes, they do have a note from the. Actually, no, that is not something new in there. Here we are. For the champions, Wild Attack. Each weapon type now takes the same time to execute.
I'm sure they will appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. For quest deeds and adventure areas, updated the characters that appeared nearby during Chapter 13.8, Last Words. And as for instances and skirmishes, adjusted the level of the Aladi final boss in the instance of Voice of the Wind. It is now properly set to 150 instead of 160.
I'm sure readers will appreciate that change.
Yeah. I presume then that must be a change from one of the previous betas, because obviously in the current game, I don't think it could be possibly be set at 160.
That's fair.
For items and rewards, package items now show their max contents level on examination.
That, I think, is a good thing.
Okay. And for miscellaneous, updated the kinship calendar to ghost the day cells that are not inside the current month. Updated the kinship calendar to ghost.
So you know how, like, on your computer's calendar, it's slightly lighter colored, so you know it's not in the current.
Yeah. All right. Let's see isn't the kinship calendar isn't that something that was supposed to be a new feature? I don't think they've actually released the kinship calendar yet, have they?
I don't think
so.
No idea. They might still be playing with it in game to make sure it's really ready when it rolls out.
Yeah, so they must be tweaking it within there. Okay. And that's it. So not much in the way of changes. I think the big thing was adding the final landscape so that people could start investigating that area. Next week, though, assuming nothing goes wrong, we'll have an instance to test out and then be able to see how that is. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of things to talk about on that. Next week, there is also going to be an update to the game and to the live servers. And we don't yet know everything that's in there, but they did say that there will be an encore for the Spring Festival next Thursday. So I guess whatever switch they have to tweak was also going to be taken care of during that update if they have to do anything for that.
I should see if I can get some Shire Plum dye on Sting.
Oh yes, of course, because that was the problem with Sting is it came up after the Spring Festival. Yes.
Well, and also I just don't normally play that much on that server to have had a stash of dye.
Yeah.
So I need to clearly build a stash of dye so that my characters can wear their characteristic hot pink outfits.
Okay, yes, you need to have that. I
Well,
mean,
it will make it
Mondays and Thursday be without you properly dressed.
Well, it will make it so much easier to differentiate my character from the others.
Yes, okay.
I thought your height did that.
The Hobbit in Shire
It doesn't
Plum,
when there are 5 hobbits running around together. At that point, it's whoever the tall person is that's the easily standing out one.
Yes, you have a point there. Well then, let's go and see what's on sale this week. Cinders, what do we have?
On sale this week, you can make your piece of Middle-earth shine and get 25% off of select housing decorations, housing sets, and cloaks through November 13th. And the weekly coupon is for a free dye that is violet with the coupon code VIOLETSARE. VIOLETSARE with no spaces. Now through November 13th as well.
All right, thank you. So let's go and reminisce about something.
Well, it's not so much as a reminisce as it is a pondering.
Okay.
What would the LOTRO equivalent of a Chuck Norris meme be?
Of a Chuck Norris meme?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm not up to date on my Chuck Norris memes.
Okay, so I'll give an example. All right. Let's see if this one is appropriate.
Yeah, that's the first thing.
Okay, here we go. Chuck Norris built the hospital he was born in. Chuck Norris once ate a bowl of alphabet soup. 24 hours later, he wrote a best-selling novel. Chuck Norris can kill 2 stones with 1 bird.
Gandalf had a staring contest with Sauron and made him blink.
That's a good one. Chuck Norris can cut through a hot knife with butter.
Chuck Norris does a lot of opposites, doesn't he?
Well, I think the whole idea is the point that Chuck Norris is awesome. So here's another one. When Chuck Norris swims, he doesn't get wet. The water gets him.
So maybe like Smeagol didn't fall into the lava fell onto Smeagol.
That's also a good one.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm afraid that this is escaping me.
And like, you know how Bilbo says that he feels like butter scraped over too much bread?
Yeah.
That would be a good one to turn into a meme too. I just lost my train of thought on how to do it though. That would be a great one, and then it just like
That was
out of my
awesome.
head.
I think you can combine all this into a great one.
It's been a long day.
Oh, well.
Oh, I'd have to think about this
Yeah.
one. But yeah, there's a lot
Oh,
of
I
thought.
thought you were going to say that Chuck Norris's nickname in Middle Earth is Tom Bombadil.
That's a good one too. That would work.
Who would be the equivalent of Chuck Norris in Middle Earth?
Pretty sure it'd be Tom Bombadil.
No, because Chuck Norris is not like la 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 la. He doesn't
No,
do that. So
but
he would be more like, maybe he'd be more like Tom Bombadil if he was like, if Tom was like 1/4 Balrog.
see, I feel like the jokes work because Chuck Norris
Tom
is
Balrog
supposed to be so
Bombadil.
awesome, and like Tom Bombadil is so awesome, like he can take out whites and stuff just by dancing. I guess maybe it could be. Oh, imagine if it was
Tom
Elrond.
Bombadil, in a conversation with Annette, was asked to hurry up.
Imagine if it was Elrond.
It was Elrond.
If Elrond was the Chuck Norris of Middle Earth.
Does Chuck Norris spend a lot of time in libraries?
Oh no. Oh, Aragorn. That would be who it would be. Yeah?
Okay.
Does that work, Krister?
Well, I'm just trying to I have to figure out this scene now. So, all right, we've got Aragorn.
He has the mad fighting skills. He doesn't lose. Even the dead follow him. The
So maybe
ladies
it was like
swoon
something
over
about
him.
like how Elrond was proven wrong because like Aragorn was death was so afraid of Aragorn that he didn't die and he became an immortal.
That could work.
And he changed his name from Aragon to Arastay.
It works. The action hero
still
of
like-
Middle Earth.
I'm still a fan of half Balrog, half Tom Bombadil. It actually sounds like a really good or
Tom
really bad
Balrogdil.
cocktail.
Okay, Tom Balrogdil. Yes.
See, that sounds more like a pickle vendor.
He's premier of the finest pickled goods in Middle Earth.
I have to think. Yeah, that's it's a target-rich environment for sure. But
Okay, so this is
I was
what
hurting my brain.
this is what I think we should do over the course of this next week. Okay? Just hear me out before you guys nix the idea. What if we submit our best ideas to Krister and he runs them through AI, the Adobe Firefly stuff, and sees if he can come up with a actual like little meme that we can add to the show notes next week?
Oh yeah, we could do something like that.
What do you think, Pine Leaf?
I think my brain froze.
And we'll put a note on here to be revisited with pictures. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Then let's head into our weekend gaming. Krister, what were you up to when you were not pretending to be Tom Bombadil or Aragorn or Chuck Norris or any of those things?
Well, unfortunately, I got a devastating dot cast on me, which was real life work. So it's been incredibly busy at work, so it stunk. So I haven't been able to do too much. However, I made a terrifying discovery, and I'm absolutely mortified to share it with you too, because I don't want you to fall victim to this. Um, I saw this game called Mega Bonk, and it was like, oh, that kind of looks interesting. And I was like, oh, this is a simple little dumb game, ha ha ha. And no, it's a horrible game. It you simultaneously hate it. You want to throw your computer through the window, but then you sit down to play another game. That's that
I think I'll
rare
avoid it.
the rare breed of horribly addictive and fills you with rage. So yeah, I've been mega bonked, and that's about it this week. So Cinders, hopefully you've been free from the mega bonk.
I have
How was
been,
your?
but as I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, this reminds me of, is it Helldivers?
No, this would be Mega Bonk would be more almost like maybe Super Mario World or something, but
Okay.
that's the deception of it. You get into it, so you're like, oh, this is pretty straightforward, but then you realize there's incredibly deep strategy to it, and
So,
there's a lot of luck, and also there's you basically you're going to spend most of the game trying to unlock stuff so you can get to the point where you can actually do well. So you start to realize with dawning horror that this is a very complicated game, and
okay.
it's very frustrating.
So, by leave, I don't know if you just Googled it, but I did. This is the description.
I am going to try to forget about this entire conversation.
This is not something that will interest you at all. But this is what it says: smash your way through endless waves of enemies and grow absurdly powerful. Grab loot, level up, unlock characters, and upgrade to create unique and crazy builds as you fend off hordes of creatures.
That sounds like a way you describe a game if you want to make sure that I never go anywhere near it.
Right? Well, and I'm watching the playthrough on Steam right now on the Steam store, and I'm like, yeah. So it reminds me of other games that I've seen. Um,
The graphics are kind of Minecrafty.
they're a little bit Minecrafty, but it reminds me more of like late 90s animation.
Yeah, like a Nintendo game or something. Yeah, where
Yeah.
where it wasn't weren't doing the side scroller anymore. Super Mario was running around in a world, 3D world,
Yeah. Um,
But yeah, that's what it's like. I remember that with
and it's
Tetris.
like,
I remember when Tetris first came out. You just sit down and you're like, oh, this is kind of a dumb game. And then 3 hours later, you're like, how did I waste 3 hours?
yeah, well, and then like the waves and enemies and stuff, that reminds me of those the balloon games, right? Where they like go through in a different pattern every time, like every level's a different pattern. Some of those
Yeah, I'm sure
older
they
style
designed this with a
games.
psychological understanding of humans because it just makes you so angry and you're like, I'm never playing this again. Well, okay, maybe one more. Okay, I'll just play one more.
That's fair. Yeah, I have not been mega bonked, and I don't think I will be mega bonked looking at that.
Good. I'm
But
glad I could spare the both of you.
I could see my child really enjoying it. But yeah, I don't think that would be a good game for me to play. Um, this week I played with the guys on Monday night, and we are steadily progressing through the main story in Cardalin. And we are just about to. Well, I think we're probably getting towards the end of it and getting ready to leave Cardalin.
Let me see, because we
'Cause were clear up north,
were clear up north,
getting ready to go into that place.
Not quite yet. I think there's going to be about at least a week or two of investigation before we get sent into there. We by my calculations, I think there are going to be maybe not next week, maybe the session after that we'll get.
So about
We'll
two
get to
sessions until we get through it,
Yeah.
as opposed to the 3 months to get to the point where we're at now.
Yeah.
And then I started working on my homework from Thursday night on my captain, and it's not going as fast as I would like it to when she's by herself. So, I stopped her at Skurlock Farm and have a little bit more time to work on it. And then I spent loads and loads and loads of time on the road this week and not near a computer. So that really cut into my gaming time. Pineleaf, how was your week?
All right, we'll begin with my lore master who visited Sans's least favorite location. I guess you can make a good guess as to where that is.
Anywhere with
McDonald's.
spiders.
I was good. Klingris.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess there are a couple places that could compete with Klingris on that matter in her mind, but yes.
Is it
So
Eregion with the gigantic, where you first encounter the great, huge, super huge spiders? Or is that the great river
super
area?
huge ones? You mean ones that are a lot?
So, you know that one area that you go to really briefly? I think it's the Great River, and then there's like a whole section that are these, like, you have the normal size spiders in game, and then you have the gigantic, huge ones that are like Leviathan.
Well, the earliest ones I remember Leviathan size are in Mirkwood. But you do
They're
have
bigger
that
than the
place
ones
with
in
the Great
Mirkwood.
River. But okay, but yeah, regular landscape ones that are non-bosses that are huge. Yeah, I think the Great River is the first place I could think of with those.
Yeah, that's the one that Sans always brings up when she talks about the spiders, even more than Lingris. She hates that
Okay.
area.
All right. I guess because going into the Great River, you're probably going to be doing maybe not into that particular section of the Great River, but that Klingris is, well, it's its own place, I'll just say. All right.
Yes.
As for my champion continued on the quest of having done all of the missions. I've gotten through, I think all I've got left is the Eladon and Elrohir storyline, the further adventures of the twins, plus one more day's worth of stuff in Elder Slate. And once I have those done, I'll be done with having done all of the missions with that character. And as I'm doing that, I was improving my legendary items, which of course is the other thing that I'm trying to do with my champion, is to get it up to speed. I think I'm probably at a good place for it now because in a month's time we are going to be having a new level cap. So I think I'm at a point now where I could finish up the quest. Because I've also been doing the quests. I started up the Crown of Hamat with my champion. So I'm hoping to have that finished up also by next week. And also, I've been playing a great deal of a game called Spirit Island. So playing that quite a bit over the last week. And that is my week in gaming. We currently have 10 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious rate of players and help support LOTRO players, you go to the nation's page to support the Players Alliance on Patreon. We're going to be used for our podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. If you'd like to send us an email and give us any comments, you can send it to podcast@loachplayers.com. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a Loach Players News, and we record DDO Players News when Drac is available. You can join our shows at loachplayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight then. This is Pilot Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.